Well, it is 5:30, and we want to welcome you to the Board of Education of Fannin County's April 11th, 2024 board meeting. And we're excited to see each and every one of you here in the house, as well as those that are online watching us. So I'm glad you're here tonight. And Madam Superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First item on the agenda is our invocation, and I'd like to invite Reverend Claude Mathis forward to give the invocation. Afterwards, if everyone would remain standing, please.
Would you join me as we pray? Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day that you've given us. Thank you for the privilege of prayer, God, that you know what we stand in need of even before we ask. Thank you for the hope that is ours in Jesus Christ and salvation to all that will believe in him. Father, I thank you for all these young people I see here tonight. Lord, I know they've had a rough few days in the loss of a classmate. I thank you for his testimony and his faith in you, Lord. And I pray for the Holzenbach family that you'll just comfort them, Lord, and continue to be with them. And thank you for the life that that young man lived, and we know where he is even tonight. I thank you, Lord, for those that you have put in leadership over us. I pray, God, that you would give them wisdom in the decisions that they make. God, I know that you said, if any man lack wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives liberally and upbraideth not. So we pray for our superintendent, our teachers, Lord, everybody that is involved in everyday decisions for these young people. God, that you'd help them to make wise decisions and that they keep the children at the utmost of their heart, which I know that they do. Just bless this time tonight. May everything that's said and done be pleasing to you, and Lord, may everything flow as you would have it to go, and everyone that has a heart, that they do their best. Thank you for hearing our prayer. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Reverend. I would like to invite Deputy Cody Sirianni forward to read the pledge of allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Mr. Chair, the next item on the agenda is to approve the consent agenda, and Ms. Collis will open up the minutes for us, please, ma'am. Thank you. Mr. Chair, make a recommendation to approve as presented.
Board, we have a recommendation. Do I have a motion?
You have a motion to approve the consent agenda and the minutes as presented.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Are there any comments? All in favor by raised hand? It is unanimous.
Mr. Chair, I'm very excited about the next item on the agenda and the things underneath it. It's the time of complete celebration, and if you look around the room at these faces and their families, they are a very large part of what makes up our community and what makes it so special. First person I'd like to invite forward is Director of Technology and Cybersecurity, Scott Mathis, and he's going to recognize Ms. Nora Todd.
I'm so excited to recognize Ms. Nord today. You have that Nord stand right there. The state of Georgia, the DOE had the very first cybersecurity poster contest this year, and all the schools in the state could submit posters. And so every school in Fannin submitted a poster. We went through them, picked a winner and a runner-up. Nora's in 3rd grade at East Fannin. She won for Fannin County, and then I submitted all our winners to the state. Nora won for every elementary school in the state of Georgia. This is given to them with Mr. Price and Nora and her mom and brother. We went down to the State Board of Education meeting, and they recognized her. And so we're very proud of her, and she is always going to be the very first winner for the state of Georgia in elementary school. And we'll get Brittany if you want to come, and you can come get the picture.
Where's Glenn? He's supposed to line us up.
All right, let's go. Thank you. All right. I'll just step out of this one, that's what Lynn says, and it's not a little bit. So, it's all the way to the out, but it's crazy.
Real good. Stay up.
I bet you really didn't want that from that much.
The next person I'd like to invite on board is Director of Student Services, Dr. Connie Huff, and she's going to get to celebrate one of our own.
Good evening, board. Good evening, visitors. It is my pleasure to ask Ms. Beth Ware to come down here and join me in the fun for just a few minutes, because I would like to have everyone to recognize our Miss Ware as our Philip Wright Award winner for this year. Now, the Philip Wright Award is for dedication to special education service, and Miss Ware has exemplified that for well over 20 years here in the Fannin County school system. I'm sorry.
I turned it off. It's my fault.
So, apologies, Ms. Ware. She has family at home. They missed out on that great spiel about what wonderful, spectacular special education teacher Ms. Ware is. She was honored along with other recipients in our Pioneer Recent District this year as our Philip Wright Award winner. She has worked in special education for over 20 years here in Fannin County. She currently serves as our teacher for the deaf and hard of hearing and is our assistive technology guru. So Ms. Ware has worn a lot of hats in her time. She has helped not just the students that she is assigned to, but also the teachers that work with students across the district. So, Ms. Ware, just know that your hard work does not go unrecognized. We thank you for all you do for our families, for our students, and for our staff. Would you like to prepare this?
No, I'm good. That's all I can do is keep on from jumping under anything.
He's got an awesome fan.
Yes. You free to go just a little bit.
Congratulations.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
One more.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to invite Chief Academic Officer Dr. Lucas Root forward, and he is going to recognize this wonderful group the CTSO students. Dr. Ruth?
Thank you, Ms. Dillard. My job will be simple, actually. I'm just going to introduce our CTAE supervisor at the high school, Mr. David Henson, but I just want to recognize him just for a second, too, because there's so much that goes on behind the scenes with CTAE that people just do not even realize that. And he just does a phenomenal job of taking care of the teachers and helping them take care of the kids. And helping out with all the day-to-day practices that have to go on in the world of CTAE. And so, Mr. Henson, thank you for what you do, and I'm going to hand the mic over to you so you can get this thing going.
All right. Thank you. And I am very fortunate to be able to work with this group of teachers and students on a daily basis. They are a amazing group, and that will be evident as I start to recognize the individual groups. But one of the things that I want to say is this group, no different than any other sport or any other competition, they attend 45, this group attended 45 competitions throughout this school year. Many of those competitions are multiple day events at region, state, and national events. And in addition to that, we look at the success. I'm going to sit here and list off a number of successes where these students were top 8 in the state in all these varying events. And so I want to go ahead and call the first CTSO up. That is our Career Technical Student Organization, which is FCCLA, which is our Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America. I know we've got a couple of ladies, so y'all come on up. We've got Katie Thurman and Savannah Fitzsimmons. This year, one of the things, I want to stand right here, one of the things that they were able to do this year is there is a state level and then a national level recipe, because in FCCLA, which some of you may remember as FHA, has cooking and culinary events. And one of the things that they did was enter a peanut recipe competition in which they were selected as the state runner-up of over 45 different entries. So we're just so proud of these ladies and everything that they've done to represent FCCLA and Fannin County High School. So let's give them a big hand. Well, I think we're going to let each one sit down. We'll bring everybody back up again here in a minute. So we get through this kind of quickly. The next group I want to bring up and recognize is our HOSA. These are our future health professionals, our health occupation students of America. I think Ms. Gibbs is here, and you got some of yours, so if y'all come on up front. And as I'm sitting here, this has been a great year for HOSA. We have a number of region and state competition winners, and when you hear the events, it's okay to ooh and ah, because I do every time I hear these events. So we've got Michaela Padgett and Katie Trotter, who placed 5th in region in medical spelling. Julie Farmer, who was top 5 in medical terminology in the region, but then also top 10 in the state. We've got Jacqueline Cracknell, who was top 5 in the region, and then again top 10 in state in pathophysiology. Okay, there's the ooh and ah, there you go. And then we have Christian Meadows, who was also top 5, and then top 10 in the state in medical law and ethics. And as we sit here and look at this group that is our future healthcare professionals and what they are able to do at the competition, the region, the state level, and then everything that Ms. Gibbs is doing to develop these future healthcare professionals, I just can't say enough. And I just want to say thank you, ladies. Great job. Proud of you.
Ms. Tipton is giving each group's photo so we can celebrate each one
Oh,
of
we'll do
them,
that.
but she's getting them as they come up. So
Okay.
just to let everybody be aware that
Okay.
she will be,
So we'll do
so
that.
that everyone can be celebrated. Yes.
The next group we'll bring up then is TSA. Mr. Gibbs, you'll bring your group, come on up. And if you'll notice that some of these students have multiple, they're in multiple clubs. Some of them will be, dressed in the FFA, some in their skills and different things. Now Mr. Gibbs always has a great successful program, and many of them could not be here tonight, but I do want to call their names because these are events, again, at the state level. Blake Colley finished 5th in the state in music production. The team of Alex Howe, Caitlin O'Mara, Connor Cowell, Fox Sharp, Seth Hughes, and Carnacio Dixon placed 6th in chapter team. Caitlin O'Mara and Emma Pittman, who's here, placed 9th in forensic science. Warren Bowen placed 10th in the electric car advanced battery class, and Seth Hughes finished 11th. Seth Hughes, Carnacio Dixon, Emma Pittman, Blake Colley, and James Burrell placed 11th in the on-demand video. Alex Howe placed 11th in prepared presentation, 17th in technology essays, and Connor Collins, Seth Hughes placed 13th in the technology problem solving. And this is of all the TSA and all the high schools across Georgia, we have this many students that are placing in these varied events. And I know Mr. Gibb does a great job, but these students need to be commended for the way that they're able to compete and have the success and represent Fannin County High School and Fannin County Schools. So Mr. Gibbs, thank you. Go ahead.
One word. James, last year at Nationals, last summer at Nationals, James placed first in the middle school in forensic cybersecurity. At the national level, he won the entire country last year as an 8th grader. So we're excited.
I think I'm going to see.
The next CTS I want to bring up is our FFA. Y'all want to come on up? And I see Mr. Davis in the back there, he's coming on. Mr. Davis, along with the partnership with Ms. Matthews, again, this is a very successful program that has, had a long, varied history here at Fannin County High School. But this year, we have seen a long list of not only, great region competition, but state level placing. So here are some placers that we have. Addie Waters, state champion in the meets evaluation career development event. Also, she was the state champion in poultry evaluation career development event. We also see that Kellyanne Ware received her state degree recipient, which is a high honor for those that understand the degree aspects of FFA. Abby McFarland was selected as the North Region Area 1 Treasurer. So we are being represented on the state. And then James Burrell, Roy Green, and Addie Waters were the swine herdsman state champion. Sarah Brawley, Abby McFarland, Kellyanne Ware, the market goat herdsman champion. Brady Coleman and Abby McFarland were the market lamb herdsman champion. Abby McFarland finished 3rd in the state with the breeding ewe. Abby McFarland was the top 4 sheep production entrepreneurship. And then we had Faith Patterson, Abby McFarland, and Kellyanne Ware in the breeding doe champions. So not only are they representing in animal showing, livestock showing, but it's also in these other competition events and then representing Fannin County at the district and state level in varying offices. So we are thankful for this and thankful for all you do, Mr. Davis. So again, thank you. Thank you. The next group I'm going to bring up is our Skills USA. Skills USA is our trade, technical, and skilled service occupations organization. This is a growing club that Mr. Flowers and Mr. Dilbeck and Mr. Chastain all work and advise together because it comprises, our welding, construction, carpentry, electrical, automotive, and a variety of other events. And they have garnered a reputation across the state, this club and organization, as being one of the top. I was able to go with them to the state competition. I got there, and there were a couple of others as they were wearing, you can see their matching shirts, they were running around to different events. I had one of the other clubs say, "Oh, there's that Fannin. I guess they'll win it all." And I was like, that's what I like to hear.
Yeah. Yep.
So as I go through this, these were state level placements. Emmeline Cochran, Bailey Stiles, and Dean Lashman finished top 8 in the state in welding fabrication. Dane Robbins, state champ in automotive refinishing collision repair. He will be attending the Nationals coming up in June. Ethan Connors finished 3rd in the state for welding. Brady Coleman, Reed Norton, Aiden Richardson, and McCain Watson finished 5th in teamworks at the state level, and they were also the region champs. Emma Pittman finished 4th in the state in automotive electrical. Connor Fisher finished 5th for cabinet making. He was also the region runner-up. Noah Turner finished 9th for firefighting. Jacob Williams was 9th in job interview, and that's in the Skills USA state competition. We also attended the Skills Challenge state competition that was put on by a couple of different organizations. And in that one, Noah Turner was the state champion in the individual competition. Emmeline Cochran, McCain Watson, and Stephen Young were 4th in fabrication, and Ethan Connor was 1st in welding in the state, and also the region champ. So we're just very proud of everything that Mr. Flowers, Mr. Billbeck, and Mr. Chastain does to prepare these students for careers, and then they go and demonstrate what they have learned and show that they're doing it better than others. And so I'm very proud of this group. So great job, everybody. I can always say that this will be the last group. So we're going to get everybody back up, and I get all my CTSO students and so we're going to get everybody back up, and we're going to double line in. Y'all kind of move into the front.
We're gonna get everybody up there.
Crowd in. We need one fearless leader to come join us. Dr. Ransom.
This is the biggest group we've ever had. Okay, hold on, I gotta get away.
I'll just have to get you to send me that one if that's all right. Guys,
And so now we're not quite done yet. Because with it being CTSO night here at the board meeting and doing the recognitions, we're now going to move to the middle school with the CTSOs that we have there. So I'm going to introduce Dr. April Hodges, principal of the middle school, and I will say we've come so far with CTSOs at the middle school. We have a HOSA program for the first time this year, and so we're making grounds to be able to have every single feeder program that we need from middle school to high school when it comes to CTSOs.
Good evening, everyone. I want to do things a little bit backwards. I'm going to invite every student who is present here and participates in FFA, HOSA, or TSA to go ahead and come forward. Even if you didn't expect to be recognized, go ahead and come on up. Ms. Waters, you too.
Dr. Hodges, did you want us to the beginning?
Not yet.
Okay.
I just wanted to call them all up. So as Dr. Ruth said, we have currently 3 CTSO organizations. We have Dr. Champion who sponsors our TSA program. We have Ms. Waters who sponsors our FFA program. And we have Ms. Jennifer Lester who sponsors our HOSA program. All of these programs have come about because the students have shown interest and have driven the need for these programs at the middle school. As recent as the students really pestering Ms. Lester to get the HOSA organization started this year. And so we're going to recognize all of them because they're super awesome at what they've done this year. And we don't have any specific recognition for FFA, but I do want to say that we have a giant program at the middle school. We have students that participate in all different kinds of events, and they have been very successful at state fairs and animal shows and all different kinds of judging that they've done, poultry and meat judging, and so we're super excited to see what they'll continue to do. Specific recognition that I want to have tonight are from TSA. These are state placers from our state convention. In website design, we have Ashton Carter, Lala Strange, and Claire Saxon that placed fifth. For children's stories, we have Jordy Hennessy, Carly Jane Stiles, and Claire Saxon who placed sixth. And then all by herself, Miss Claire Saxon placed eighth in cybersecurity. Gotta change my paper. For HOSA, we attended our very first state convention, and we have Miss Cassidy Walden and Bailey Gaddy who placed in the top 10 for their lesson on the heart and health education. And we have Lily Edwards and Michaela Seiler who placed in the top 10 for their display on neonatologist and health career display. We are very proud of all of our students and what they do, and we're excited to announce that next year we will start a new chapter of Skills USA at middle school. So we're excited to see what that will bring about as well. Thank you.
You gotta go up.
Can't escape that. Hold on. He's not there. You two girls come forward. You're gonna have to kind of come like right here. Come right here. Oh, you stay here. There. Don't you stay right here. There. Okay, I can see on your face. All right, 1, 2, 3. She's back there, so look at the very back. Two on the end, they're still. That's okay. Let's give them a Mr. Chair, Board, that is something to celebrate. All the successes of the children and their families' support and the teacher support. All of that work that you saw there was extra effort and additional work outside the classroom for the teachers, and so that is commendable. And it speaks volumes of what Fannin County is like. With that said, Mr. Chair, I'd like to go to the next item on the agenda, which is the CTAE program update, and Dr. Reed and Mr. Gibson.
will let us know the status.
First off, I'm just really disappointed that no one's stuck around to hear the rest of our agenda items on the agenda here, but this does fit right, obviously, with what you just saw, with everything, with the students, with those CTSOs that are part of career technical and agricultural education. And so every year, typically in the spring, we do like to give a quick update with CTAE. It is something that we are actually required to do from the DOE with the CTAE program, but we don't want to look at it just as a requirement. We want to be able to, celebrate some things, and obviously what we show here ties directly to all the success that you just saw with all those kids. So with that said, we'll move in. So really quickly here, just giving some updates when it comes to Fannin County Middle School. And these will be the CTAE-based connections that will take place at Fannin County Middle School for the 24-25 school year. We will continue to offer computer science. We will continue to offer healthcare, and again, one of the only middle schools in the whole state that have that program. And we will continue to offer ag and exploratory with an outdoor classroom, engineering and technology, and then we're going to be adding. We're going to have a little creativity here, and we're going to be adding our required health class, but we're also going to embed some elements of food nutrition into that health class so that helps to get students prepared for our food nutrition pathway to high school. And then we'll also continue to have our entrepreneurship days where we partner with economic development and the Chamber of Commerce for those entrepreneurship days. Then moving into updates for what will take place at the high school when it comes to pathways for 24-25. And these are all a continuation of this year, except for one. We will continue to offer our 5 ag pathways and carpentry. And then we have finally had enough students show interest and get signed up and enrolled in the electrical class. So we'll be able to offer that electrical pathway. We'll have fine furniture and welding, audio video, teaching as a profession, general medicine, nursing, pharmacy, sports medicine, EMT, food and nutrition, programming, engineering and technology, and then the automotive technology. And the little asterisk that you see there beside those are our pathways that lead students into a real world industry credential and or a college class exemption. So those are the ones that, again, when they complete that pathway, pass that test, it's not just a test on paper. I mean, that is something that truly gets a kid prepared to leap right into the workforce. And so then also we have industry certified programs from the DOE that are engineering and healthcare.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Each one of those, a kid walks out the door to graduation, and it has the ability to have a certificate.
That's correct. So for instance, nursing.
Profession.
Yes, just step right into a profession. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that's exciting to have those opportunities for those kids.
That's awesome.
Well, I guess we're going to tag team in hopes that we are not taking up too much time. But again, I get to talk about these CTAE programs, and I get excited because it's providing students with not only an industry certification, but something that they are excited about, that they have done everything to increase their learning in that, and they're moving out to be successful in our communities and in the workplace. And so as you look at, these are the number of projected pathway completers. There's 231 total, but if you'll notice how many of the programs are increases from the previous year. More students are getting involved. And here we see these increases are agriculture, teaching as a profession, which I'm very thankful for as a teacher. General medicine is an increase, nursing, EMTs, food and nutrition, and automotive. So we are increasing the number of pathway completers in each of these areas. That is a direct reflection on the teachers that are promoting their programs and preparing these students. Also for the students who's doing the work that is necessary in order to be able to complete the pathways that then gains them access to employable skills. Now, one of the other things that I want to add as part of this, there are 213 of those 231 students that are completing a pathway that will lead with an industry certification. By industry certification, we got ServSafe, which is our food, nutrition, wellness that you can go into employability. We've got our American Welding Society Sense Level 1 certificate that you can leave with a welding certificate, immediately employability. Our certified nursing assistants. We are giving to our general medicine students a new one this year. It's the National Certification for Health Service Excellence. And that is one that is new, and we're having great success. We have pharmacy techs that have that certification. Another one that we started giving in our general medicine is the FEMA Community Response certification, so that they are understanding about emergency response and how to do that in different community events. EMTs. For the first time, we're going to have 17 students sit for our ASEs in light vehicle repair. And so I'm very excited that this program has gotten to that point, and these students are ready. And then overall, all of our construction and architecture pathway, they received their OSHA 10 certification. So 213. And then there's an additional 13 students through the teaching as a profession that are going to gain multiple college credits just for having completed the pathway and the certification exam. So I'm very excited about that.
What about military?
Well, at that point, many of them that go into the military, because of some of those credits, there are a couple of those and the certification that they will receive a rank from E1 to E2. We have one of those currently. So those are also. All right, the next one we have is talking about the CTSOs. And I'll just say that we have 299 students at the high school enrolled in the CTSO. And what that is our career technical. You saw the ones that are competing up here, placing at the high level. So we've got nearly 300 students, nearly a third of our students are competing and participating in an extracurricular activity outside of the classroom environment and looking for these opportunities to compete because they're excited about the skills they're learning and they want to show them off, and they get to do that in a competition environment that prepares them for the workplace even more because they understand the stresses of having to do it with something on the line. So, and so those are increasing numbers, and we'll continue to increase those. So that's just real quick about the pathways and the CTSO numbers. So I'm going to hand it back to.
And so here, and I know this is something that's always been embedded in Dr. Ramsey's presentations as well, but it is a requirement to come directly from us too. So dual enrollment, and this is just impressive numbers for dual enrollment. And last year, in the fall, we had 70 students enrolled in 104 courses, and in the spring last year, 81 students, and then 232 college credits earned last year. And then fast forward to this school year, those numbers increased by even more. 113 students enrolled in 201 courses in the fall of this year, and then 120 students enrolled in 236 courses in the spring of this year, and then we look to have 437 college credits earned. So those are just really impressive numbers for dual enrollment. And then on the bottom there, just to note that we do also have the growing work-based learning program and youth apprenticeship program that's busting at the seams. So we have students that work in over 50 different businesses within our community that partner with us for work-based learning and youth apprenticeship.
Again, as he mentioned too, our partnerships are vital to the success of our CTAE programs. And just for example, our healthcare, they have 8 healthcare organizations within the community that provide over 40 opportunities for our healthcare to find clinical opportunities. They leave the classroom and go into these clinical settings, and it is vital for us to have these partnerships. Well, one of the things that we have looked at, and Dr. Ruth has indicated through our goals for our CTAE program, is that we have a financial literacy. One of the state recommends that we have an entrepreneurial framework for every one of our career technical agriculture education programs. And the reason being is many of those skills correlate into a job or an industry where they can be business owners, they can be entrepreneurs. And so we understand that. But one of the things that we looked at when we talked about our partnerships and having our advisory committees was that there was some financial literacy that needed to happen. I know that's also a state emphasis. So we are looking to intentionally embed financial literacy into all of our courses from level 1, 2, and 3 at different levels. We have looked at and been able to partner with Top Basic Federal Credit Union, and they're going to be coming into varying classes. These are most of our level 2 classes of our 3-level pathways, and they're going to talk about financial literacy, not only from an individual component, but from starting a business and startups and things like that as we combine that with our entrepreneurial pathway. We're also looking to partner again. UCB is quick to jump on board as well. I'm thankful for them. They already do so much with our junior board and others. But we're real excited that we're also going to be calling on the Economic Development Authority. Eric Youngblood and Christy Gribble are great resources for us, and they are excited about opportunities that they have to provide these students with information that they may not be getting, but then the challenge of workbooks and other things that will truly prepare them, not only for individual understanding of how to operate as an individual or a family, but as a potential entrepreneur here in our community. So these are just some of the exciting things that we're looking at embedding into all of our different courses.
I've heard, since I've been a board member, I don't know how many people I've asked them, why don't you teach doing taxes, etc.? Why don't you teach the household budget, etc.? It's good, it's great.
And that'll be part of that, to be able to do that, Mr. Ruiz, for these students. An update here, current 4-year graduation rate for CTAE students is 99.4%. So, that just shows, again, that being a part of these programs is going to help propel a student to graduation. So, we're very thankful.
And Dr. Ruth, what was it like with GPA for that graduating cohort of CTAE?
So for the grade point average that corresponded for these students that achieved this 99.4% was at 87 grade point average. And so that's pretty impressive when you think about it. That's the average GPA for these students, 87.
That's amazing. For these students, excuse me, when they choose a plan, do you have any? Do they change their course or change their?
Yes, sir. We are blessed for students to have opportunities to complete multiple pathways as well. It just depends on the interest the student has. So, and we do have students that might start one pathway, complete a course, say in the healthcare pathway, and then they realize that's not for them, and they move over and complete a different pathway. So yes, absolutely. It's not like you have to, once you start a pathway, you're forced to stay there. You do have that flexibility to change. Of course, it's better to start and finish because you're burning time if you don't.
In addition to that, Dr. Ramsey and his staff they do a wonderful job. They build their master schedule around what the students are interested in and what their needs are, so they can facilitate the schedule where they can bundle up their electives to be able to complete those pathways. They work diligently to do that as well. They work months on that schedule, looking at each individual child and their schedule and what they need.
And so to finish this presentation on these last 2 slides, these are the different CTAE related programs that we have added since the year 2020 for our students. And the reason I say we and our, it has to do with you gentlemen as well, because we would not be able to do what we've done for CTAE without our board advocating for it and making it known and just having our backs when it comes to being able to add these programs. So, gentlemen, I want to say thank you for what you do as well to allow us to be able to do this. So just real short here, this is the middle school. Since 2020, we've added computer science, healthcare, exploratory outdoor classroom, the health classwork that we're moving to next year, those entrepreneurship days, the HOSA program, and Skills USA. again since the year 2020. And again, this goes back to dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic, right? And so since 2020, what we've added for our students, welding, automotive, electrical, general medicine, pharmacy tech, EMT, and programming. And then going back to Mr. DeWeese, your question about military. Last week, I sent applications in the mail for the hopes of getting a National Defense Cadet Corps program started, which then can help get a JROTC program started here at Fannin County High School.
When we analyzed, that was the one area that we didn't have as much support for the kids continuing after school as the others. We were looking at all areas in life, so we started work on that, and that's about a year process. So we don't look to being able to offer that next year, but hopefully follow the next, because it is such a lengthy process.
Certainly applaud that effort with the top military schools in the nation, just down the road, Goliath, will be an excellent pathway.
Absolutely, sir. So again, I know that was lengthy, but that is a requirement to do that, and thank you for listening to us. Thank you, Mr. Henson.
Thank you, Dr. Root. Mr. Chair, next item on the agenda is school governance team update, and Dr. Root.
I apologize, you can hear my voice again a couple more times after this as well. But school governance team, Blue Ridge Elementary, we did have just a notable work there. They gave a STEAM update, it reviewed school improvement feedback, and looked at drafts of their comprehensive needs assessment that will help guide their school improvement plan. East Fannin, no meeting for this time. West Fannin, we had fundraiser requests, field trip requests there, and facility use requests, notable work, SGT training, and again, looked at comprehensive needs assessment that will help guide school improvement plan, and review STEM and STEAM, and parent dojo, and staff feedback on a survey that they do there at West Fannin. Middle school, we had a fundraiser request listed there, field trip request, and facility use request, and we did have some notable work. Analyzed winter map data, talked about the new audio enhancement system, and talked about some upcoming events that are coming up in April and May. Finally, high school, as usual, several fundraiser requests, several field trip requests, and several facility use requests, and then some notable work. Mr. Danner provided some details on the facility updates that are coming soon, and Dr. Ramsey reminded about prom, and Dr. Ramsey provided information on valedictorian and salutatorian for graduation. And again, as usual, as you probably usually say at this point, the minutes are housed at the individual schools.
Thank you, Dr. Root. All right, Mr. Chair, next item on the agenda is school happenings, and Mr. Mark Young is going to let us know what's happening at Blue Ridge Elementary, and it is a sight to behold. A sight to behold, yes, sir.
Thank you for that introduction. First thing I'd like to do is say just wow. And I want to give a shout out to Dr. Scott Ramsey. At graduation, every time he's conducted, I've noticed he always gives credit to the elementary school. He realizes that he has to harvest, but we have to put seeds in there too.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. That's a big deal. So,
Amen.
And as we go through, there's my one
Amen. Yeah.
So as we go through this, I challenge you to look for those seeds being planted. With that said, our first slide here will take you to a place where we have a group of students who have built a website. They are working with their parent liaison to design this website. It's listed up there above. It's not a link, but it is listed. And many of the pictures that you will see on this presentation came from them. So, number one, that takes a lot of work off me, which is great, but it also shows their creativity. They're much better at this than I am. So take a good look at those young people out there. They're doing a great job. Just some new folks right here. We got our Teacher of the Year for 2026, Ms. Caprice Ramsey. I've had the honor of knowing her since the first time she walked into Fannin County Schools. Great lady, very talented teacher, well deserving for Teacher of the Year. We'd like to welcome aboard Thomas Kay as our school resource officer. He came over from East Fannin. Thomas has done a great job, always has. And we have Mr. Cody Watkins. We've got to hire him for a custodian, and it's my understanding it's the first time that we've had a full staff of custodians at Blue Ridge in a long time. And Cody has done a great job, and we're very appreciative to have him on board. I didn't do this on purpose, but this is what I told the folks yesterday when I did this presentation. It kind of centers around community. And what better time than right now to talk about community, and not just the school community, but our community in general. Our community has stepped up. I really appreciate what I see when tragedy strikes. I'm proud to live here, and I'm glad we have brave people in this county. And we have this community spirit around Blue Ridge, and I'm so glad to be a part of that. With that said, last presentation, we hadn't had our Veterans Day program, but you can see some pictures from that. We love to honor our veterans. It's very near and dear to me, and I know it's near and dear to our students and community. One thing I would like to say about Blue Ridge Elementary that is very special to me, it's not the adults doing the program, it's the kids. So, and as you can see from those pictures, our students are super involved in that, and they're also super involved in the planning and what practice takes place. And we had a pretty good guest speaker this year. So we appreciate Mr. Mike Gold for being our guest speaker. We had Thanksgiving lunch. We served over 800 something meals over that course of 2 days. Appreciate everybody coming in. It was a wonderful opportunity for me to meet parents that I don't ordinarily get to meet. I enjoy walking around and talking to folks, and it's just a good time. Thanksgiving is a special time of year anyway, and it's nice to have those folks in the school to be with us. Like Christmas, we were having a lot of sickness around that time. Dr. Ramsey will tell you that we were at PAC. I'd like to thank him personally for allowing us to come in there, and I know they had to disinfect after every White Christmas. We really did have a lot of sickness at that time. As you can see, our kids are kind of sparse there, but thank you very much for letting us be able to put that program on. Huge success as always. If you haven't been to one, you need to go. If you're sad, this is a good place to go. Speaking of which, if you haven't had a chance to smile lately, go to a Special Olympics. And tomorrow, with permitting, 9:30 to 1 or 9 to 1:30, I can't remember. But it's track and field Special Olympics. I'm looking forward to that. But you'll see our Special Olympians there. I'd like to bring your attention to the folks on the bottom picture in the back. Those are the adults, teachers, and paracrews that work with our kids. Very hardworking folks. People that love beyond measure. I can't imagine more love being in a room than when you see these people work with the kids. They are dedicated to what they do. They are folks that are just special, near and dear to my heart, and near and dear to our school. And I really appreciate what they do every day. Not that every other teacher is not important and loving, but these people really love these kids in their condition. On the left-hand side, you'll see the spelling bee winner for the district, Miss Lily Powell. We're so proud of her. I traveled over to watch her in the regional spelling bee. She did a great job. When she was put out the spelling bee, out of about 25 kids, there were 7 folks left. Okay, she is a 5th grade student. We have 8th grade students there from all over the region, and she did that well. Which means we have 3 more years to see her really go beyond.
Amen.
So I'm passing that on to Dr. Hodges, and hopefully she will continue her success and move on forward. On the right-hand side, this is one of those connections I want to talk to you about. Jump rope for Heart was a huge success, of course, because of the lady on the right, because of her students, of course. But Miss Lanier is our PE coach. And she is also a talent scout for running, and she is a very dedicated PE teacher. She sponsors a running club in our school, and we'll see a picture of that in a minute. But she is one of those folks that understands that what she does in the lower grades is going to just sow seeds and water what we need to get the harvest at the high school level. We had our community resource fair. Blue Ridge Elementary was fortunate enough to get to host that. All 3 elementaries participated in that. And big shout out to everybody that was involved, parent liaisons, but also Ms. Vicki Robertson. I don't know if she's home once, yes, I hope so. But she ordered all the supplies, and that's a big deal. She got all the things into that, worked really hard to get everything organized, and I appreciate the effort in that. It is wonderful to be able to provide these services, and I'm sure you'll hear more about it, but it's nice to see that our community came together and made themselves available for folks that may not ordinarily be able to get out and do things. I don't know how many times you've how much time you spent at a Medicare office or anything like that, but it's nice for those folks to come to you and to be there to help. And I'm glad the school system is a part of that. That's one of those things that we need to do. And I can remember that as a child, the community, the school being the center of it, and this reminds me of that. So, again, the community keeps rolling around. Lead Across America, if you will look right here on the left-hand side, you'll see 2 of our high school students, Brody and Carson. They came to read to our kindergarten kids, first grade kids one day, and there's no greater picture on this than that young man had the little girl on his lap right there. And they just read stories with them. We really appreciate our high school students coming down and giving back. On the right-hand side, that's Miss Debbie Settle. She's one of our most dedicated parents. Great lady. I just couldn't help but put that picture in there. That little girl smiling in the cell. She really loves the children, loves what she does, and it's obvious. This is a picture of something unique. Mr. Park, our media specialist, in celebration of Read Across America, asked us to help them get postcards from all over the United States. We came one state short. So if anybody here knows anybody in New Hampshire, please give them a call or contact them on Facebook and ask them to send us a postcard. We got postcards from every state except New Hampshire, and a lot of states we have multiple postcards. I think we had 7 from Alaska. This was a fun thing for my wife and I. We reconnected with some folks that we haven't talked to in 30 years, just over asking them to bring a postcard or mail us a postcard. So, great thing that is on display at our school, and you're welcome to come by and look at that. I don't know how much longer it'll be up there, but you're welcome to come see it. National Breakfast Week, we did something just a little bit unique this time. I know we wanted to create a little buzz around the cafeteria. Felt like if I could get the kids in the cafeteria, they would eat breakfast. A lot of times they kind of dodge that and go to class. So, once again, we invited some of our high school students down in the upper right-hand corner to come play some music during that time. And they came and played their horns, and I've got an ulterior motive to that. I wanted them to be exposed to that music and understand that they could be part of the band too. When they get out of the hospital, or get out of elementary school, and learn that life skill, play an instrument. Something I always wanted to do and was never able to. But I would be happy for our students to see that and get excited about that music. In the left-hand side, these are some folks that are connected to Fannin County School System. The gentleman on the right there is Shannon Bradner. He is the husband of one of our parapros, Ms. Kayla Bradner. The gentleman in the middle is Jeremy Payne. That's Lauren Payne's husband. And that's Shannon's daughter, and they're all playing the guitar. And they come to sing for us one Sunday. They came to sing for us one morning for about 30 minutes, and they did a tremendous job. I appreciate them coming in. We had a big green night, and I thought I was going to walk in and walk out, and things would, be okay. For 3 solid hours, the people just came, and I was so happy with that, and got to meet some folks. I told some people today, there were a couple of parents that I've been wanting to meet all year, and this gave me the opportunity to talk to them. So, once again, our community stepped up, and I really appreciate being part of that. Miss Allie Lindstrom, can't help but give her a shout out for this. We all grew up in a time when if you got an A or something of that nature, something in school that was positive, it went on the refrigerator. So, don't know if it's always like that now. A lot of people are busy. Wouldn't dare criticize anybody for not doing that, but folks are busy, they have to work, and so forth like that. she brought the fridge to school. So in the hallway, there's a big long bulletin board, and she calls it the fridge, and that's where she puts student work. And invites other people to put things there, and it's always on display. And when these little kids walk by that, their eyes just light up. That's mine. So they're happy about that. Positive behavior. We have a lot of office referrals for positive stuff. These guys are holding little tickets that the teachers fill out. So one thing that I've really tried to combat and make sure everybody understands, when you come to the principal's office, it's not always a bad thing. Matter of fact, in my school, it's not a bad thing at all. I love to talk to kids, I love to counsel kids. Discipline is not something that I seek to do. We have to do that from time to time. But I love to just talk with kids. So these kids get positive behavior referrals, and they come see us. And we take a picture, give them a prize, and that's two of our fine students right there. This is the part that I really want to highlight toward the end. You see the word bonus up there. That is an acronym for bringing out new understandings in specials. So during our specials, we do PE, art, music, things like that, the media center. From time to time, we have a special day where the students can go where they choose to do something a little different during the school day. So you'll see that Miss Allie Lindstrom, she sponsors an art or singing club during that time. Mr. King, Ms. King does a cooking club during that time. Ms. Parker does Lego robotics and stop motion, which basically is taking pictures and making animation out of it. Our technology specialist, Randy Holloway, brings kids in and lets them work on Chromebooks and does Chromebook repair. I can see this being very beneficial for us in the future. Maybe we could turn some of that work over to our students. Miss Pioneer Running Club, I can't brag enough on her. And our school nurse has taken a group of kids under her wing and is starting to work with them on healthcare. So getting them interested in things that are going on. So these are all wonderful things that are just going on here at elementary. Finally, we hosted a robotics competition for all the elementary schools. I think we were second, and I didn't get to be there that day because it happened to be the same day as the spelling bee. But we had robotics, and you perform a little picture of the robotics competition. You'll see folks from all over there, and we really appreciate being able to sponsor that event as well. SPLOST, we now have a lot going on since we talked last. You can look at the picture on the left, and our hallway is painted nicely and floor shining. We hope to bring that same luster to our cafeteria with our next SPLOST development. Hopefully we'll get some paint and take care of the floors in there. It's in need of a spruce up renovation, and we have some SPLOST available for that. We'll buy some tables as well. So we really hope to have that going. Before I take questions, there's a couple of you who didn't get to spend as much time at Blue Ridge, and I know you were sick that day, Mr. Galloway and Mr. Cole, but I want to invite you to come anytime, and I'll give you the tour that you would have had with the work day that we had. You come on and we'll look at things and see how things are going. So with that said, does anyone have any questions?
Yes, sir. Okay. I stand in astonishment. Y'all must have a public speaking program that you don't brag about. Because every time we walk through a school, y'all have chosen 2 or 3 or 4 young people that lead the board members through the school. And I am astonished at their maturity and how they speak to us and lead us and take charge. That must be some really good experience for a young person to feel. It makes me want to go back and learn to public speak or to talk, whatever you want to call it.
Thank you for that. Our kids really step up, and we
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You mentioned Solid coming over and assisting with your technology classes on the computer side. I recall distinctly walking back to the table, she had several students, and they were replacing the screens and laptops. I was so impressed. Very delicate work, and they were just right in there taking care of business. So, I don't think I got to do that in the 5th grade. myself with the mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Young. Mr. Mayor, do we have any comments, sir? All right. Mr. Chair, the next item on the agenda is to approve norms of the Fannin County Board of Education. Dr. Ruth?
Good evening again. And board, these are norms that you gentlemen were able to see ahead of time on the board video that we do. And at this point right now, these are norms that we have had in place for several years. And at this point, we do not see any need to change these. But if you gentlemen do see that need, please let me know, and we can proceed. However, we do come to you again just with nothing changing on these norms. Come to you to humbly approve them. However, again, if you do see something that you do feel needs to be altered, you can also let us know that as well.
Excellent. Do you, everybody has had an opportunity to review those, Mr. Chair? With that said, I'd like to make a recommendation to approve as presented.
Thank you, ma'am. We have a recommendation, board. Is there a motion?
Yes, you have a motion.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
You have a second.
I have a motion and a second, or is there any discussion? All in favor by raised hand? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks. Mr. Chair, the next item on the agenda is the safety update, and I'd like to invite Mr. Danner or Mr. Mathis forward to provide that update.
Good evening again, board. Ms. Dillard. I come to tell you about an exciting project that I have been working on for several months now, audio enhancement, and that is been installed in 4 of our 5 schools, and we'll be in all 5 of them next week with West Fannin. And so you can go ahead and scroll down Miss Collins. So audio enhancement is has 4 or 5 different features to it, and one of them, the ones I'm going to talk about, Mr. Anderson will talk about the safety side of it. I'm going to talk about there is a system-wide intercom that we put in at all of our schools, a brand new intercom system that sounds really well, really good, really clear. Somebody made a comment to me that it sounded like they were in an department store. It was so clear, and you can access that from anywhere in the network at any school. Ms. Dillard could send an announcement to all of our schools over the new intercom system. So it also, is in places that the old one may not have been. So that was a great thing. And also the speakers for the intercom system had bells with them. So we have the bells and intercoms as a part of this in our schools. And then in the classroom, we have a camera, and we have 4 speakers in a regular sized classroom for teacher instruction. And so the teachers wear a microphone, and they also have a handheld microphone for students that comes over those speakers. And also the sound comes from their smart panel, their ViewSonic panel over the speakers as well. And so they use that for instruction in the classroom. And that Ms. Dillard had the great idea of inviting Dr. Gluttony back to see it in action, because he was actually here when we started this. And we went up to the high school and toured, and everybody, I told him, I said, I did not plan this, because everybody just raved about it and had good things to say about it. So I would invite you anytime you would like to come and see it in action. You're more than welcome. And so they have the microphone. The teacher wears, and then the student microphone, and then they also have the camera that I think is on the, I'll come back to the camera. So here's the microphone. The one on the left is the one they wear around their neck, and you see all the buttons on that. The one in the middle is the student one that can be passed around, and then that one to the right that says the wrist transmitter is ones that everyone that is not in a classroom using the audio wears for the safety. And Mr. Danner will explain that when it comes to his part. Here is, go ahead, Heather. here is what it looks like, when you pull up audio enhancement. There is what's called a kiosk in the main office. And so you can pull this up from any web browser, Google Chrome in the district for any of our schools and see the layout and the floor plan of the school. And then when Heather goes down to the next slide, you'll see how I've clicked on the gym and a couple of classrooms there. And so you can start paging, which means you can do the intercom into those selected rooms. So you can pick, a few rooms, you can do the whole school or anything like that. So that's kind of how the intercom system works for it. So it's very intuitive and very easy to use. And then here is the camera that's in every classroom. It's a P to Z, which means it pivots and it zooms camera. And those on the right there is an example of using that camera in the classroom for instruction. And one thing that I have made sure that all of our staff understand is this camera is only accessible by the teacher in the classroom. No, we're not using it, to look in on them. And there's also a safety piece of that camera that Mr. Banner will talk about. So they use that and they can record their lesson. Maybe if a student was going to be out or they had a sub that could record their lesson, send it, share it with them where they can watch it, or, if they want to see, kind of how they did teaching or watch back. There's a lot of different uses for that camera on the instructional side. And then that one little picture real quick is just, you can also do the camera on one side and like draw and write on the board on that side there that says you pass. So it's very exciting, and I've heard nothing but good things about it. It's been a big project, and we're nearing the end of it, and I'm glad, and I think it's a real asset to our school system. I do. And then the other thing I didn't talk about was the safety piece, which is also part of this entire project, which Mr. Daniel will talk about. Any questions for me before I turn it over to him?
This is the observing individual rooms on a selected basis, is a better way of saying it. Teachers not under the scrutiny of the camera.
That is correct. That's what I was trying to say, Mr. Joyce. There is a camera in there, but the teacher completely controls when that camera is on, when it records for the instructional process. That is correct. That camera is not like a security, like you would think of a security camera. That's exactly right.
When we had it installed, we requested that they would be the ones that have ultimate control of their login and their password. The only time that it overrides that, Mr. Danner is going to talk about that in a safety situation, and we made the teachers aware of that as well. And they're actually the one that activates the safety in that room to cause it to come on. So yes, they have that control. And that is phone. I have anything to do with it.
That was my design.
Yeah,
that's what we, from the get-go, that is correct. Anything else? Thank you.
Just to reiterate that, yes, teachers have 100% control. If we have virtual days, for whatever reason, the teacher can go to the school, they can share the link, they can actually do a live view or live class with their students at home, or if you got a kid that's home sick for medical reasons, whatever, they can share that video along with a live class to that one student, or they can do it to the whole get-go. So again, it is 100% controlled by the teacher. So these are some of the options that we have, and this is pretty much unlimited. We can, of course, these are by design. This comes from Audio Enhancement. It also has a pre-recorded fire message, a pre-recorded lightning tornado right down the line, pre-recorded lockdown, we'll talk about here in just a moment. And then we can add, again, infinite number of individual messages. I know one principal is having a ball with it. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. So again, going back to the microphone, this is a teacher mic. Again, they wear it around their neck. As Scott says, if they turn it on, the audio works. They do not have to turn the camera. So again, the teacher can talk very low and then save their voice, and everybody in the entire room hears the exact same decibel level, research, blah, 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 that type of thing. But showing this is, notice how the teacher or that hand, they're holding to the side. There's two little buttons on the side they press and hold, whether it's the teacher mic or that red duress that is to our classified people. They press and hold those two buttons for approximately 3 seconds, and then it will send this message. Go ahead, Ms. Collins. It will, on the left is a text message that each school's admin and SROs receive. Again, we're still playing with that right now because we're not 100%. But that text message, again, this is at the high school, room 123A on March 14th at 2:27 p.m. That will go to the high school admin. The high school admin can click that link and on their phone can pull up, if they're on the network, the district network, they can watch that video on that phone, because when a teacher hit that duress button, it sends that text, it automatically turns that camera on. If it has been zoomed in by the teacher to specify it's going to zoom out, so admin at that school can decide whether or not they want to put it on lockdown by clicking the button, or they can, go check on something. It went off this week. What you're seeing here on the right is the district view. So myself, Ms. Dillard, Mr. Baptist, and Stephanie here, this shows up on our kiosk. So the little teardrops there, of course, all the schools. So we were sitting actually in Stephanie's office, and it went off, and of course if you click that little red button, which would be the high school, we see the same view that Mr. Henson was. So we watched Mr. Henson walk into the room. Was it a substitute? What was it? A substitute was in there trying to turn the lights off, and she was hitting the duress button on the wall. So go ahead, Ms. Hollis, scroll, keep going, keep scrolling, and right there. So the substitute teacher was hitting the emergency button, which kept sending off an alarm to the high school. So it works.
And it's better than an alarm clock when that goes off on the button.
All right, so when that goes off, again, so here's an example of office house. So let's scroll back up. So this is here at the district office. So we, over in the training room next door, we do have a duress signal in there. So again, just so we could demonstrate this, so we didn't press that. So again, that is what's sent to the kiosk, just like the high school would be. Ms. Collins, go ahead. And then this is what's in the classrooms and throughout the school building. So on the far left, the 2 green lights. If it's a normal day, nothing's going on, you got 2 green lights. So the duress signal was pressed, and that goes to the second picture there, the 3 red lights. It is silent. Okay, so if something's going on in the classroom, the teacher can do this and not make a big to do. But again, the teacher can look up at that thing in their on the wall or see where it is, and that tells the teacher that it has been sent to the office and the admin. Then on the right, that is it goes from green, red, green. That means the office or the admin or somebody has acknowledged that there is something going on in that classroom. They're on the way. The cavalry's coming, so to speak.
And Mr. Diener, the part you said we were still working on a little bit ago, our safety teams are working with our SROs trying to determine what level of alert that the SROs want to be notified for. They may not be needed to be notified for something that's a low-level admin thing, but if they need immediate assistance.
And that's what the principals are talking to their staff members. What should they send an alert for? But anyway, but then just like that, they kind of turn the lights off, they hit their duress button,
So anyway, so again, they get locked this house. Again, that is in
You
every,
have a question, sir.
I'm sorry.
I have a question. That's been one of the greatest fears that I thought teachers had, of being isolated, being alone, being unreached, and that must be a tremendous comfort to be able to know that.
There's a whole lot more functions that it has that we will sort of very briefly touch on. Again, the call button is just the intercom. The duress is when it sends to admin and everything else too. But again, yeah, we are working on some things. This is, I found this, Alyssa's Law. The green states there have passed the Alyssa Law. The Alyssa Law pretty much says that you have to have a silent mass notification throughout the school district. Georgia has not passed it yet, but for the last 2 years, actually I talked to Mr. Chastain this year while the session was still going on, asked him, is this going to be passed? He said, no, but it is coming, it's coming, it's coming. So when Georgia passes the Alyssa Law, we are good to go. Again, we have looked for 6 years on a program or a device or, everything like this, literally for 6 years. When audio enhancement added safety to their repertoire, it checked every box. Not only was it helping academics, we got brand new intercoms throughout the whole district, and now we've got a silent alert. And again, the admin or the office personnel, by the click of a button, can say lockdown, and it does it automated. The teachers know what to do. Working on some connectivity with our Salto lockdown goes automatically again by the click of a button. And if there is a more emergency other than just a lockdown, our lockdowns are completely different than some others we won't discuss. But again, we can also have that notification, add fire, all that type of stuff. We can actually create one, and we click that button. Not only does it notify every SRO, it notifies the sheriff, it notifies the 911 center by text, by telephone, and by email by the click of the button. So again, that's in the worst case scenario, but again, it has that capability.
And the teachers don't have to be in their classrooms in order for it to work with the technology. It triangulates, so.
That brings me to a question. In a crisis situation or emergency, do you have the ability to override the manipulation of the camera remotely?
It pans out and just shows the whole room.
So you can view the whole room.
Correct. It zooms by. It doesn't matter in the back of the room, so it shows the whole classroom.
Very good, thanks.
Correct.
Unfortunately, we don't have the culture here where you see on the news, like, when people take videos and edit it to make it look a certain way. This will also provide the opportunity if something's going on in the classroom, it's to the teacher's discretion that they capture the whole event. So my thought process is to help them tell the story so it's not manipulated against a teacher. But like I said, I'm thankful we don't have that culture here, but it is a provide. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. The next item on the agenda, Mr. Danner, facilities update, sir.
Yes, sir, while Ms. Collins is pulling that up, work orders completed, as of yesterday, 1,574, again, recorded work orders. This is behind the high school. Our core drilling, has started, on the property. Go ahead, Ms. Collins. The geotechnical exploration, 37 soil test boring samples have been done. And then, so again, while we're waiting on all those results, those holes have been covered because we do have a property manager, that has cattle over there. We don't want to, have some bill to our, this is the greenhouse. Last board meeting, we didn't have anybody bid on the greenhouse. So this, was the Monday of spring break. That was, go ahead, Ms. Collins, that was Monday. And this was Tuesday of spring break. Keep going. that was Wednesday of spring break, so the greenhouse is gone. Mr. Billback down in, the auto mechanics guy, I know he's probably taken to death. I know the high school, Mr. Henson and Dr. Ruth have talked about some sheds to go in that area there, so yeah, we'll make that happen as well. This is at East Fannin. Mr. Price, I think, Mr. Price sent me that picture of the parking lot, now that we've got lights on it. So now we've got to get the lights adjusted because some of our neighbors they can't sleep at night. So I'm actually going to Tri-State and ask if they can tilt them down a little bit, but again, it is lit up like it needs to go up here. Going back to the property, the flow test proposal was approved on March 29th. That is the water pressure availability and fire protection on the property behind high school. Total strength and fitness is a weight equipment company. March 27th confirmed the receipt of the weight room dimensions, and they are doing a preliminary design of the weight room. The civil engineer is in contact with River City regarding the water connections, what needs to be done, and then hopefully within the next 2 weeks we will schedule a progress set meeting with the school district, the engineers, looking at plans and making some final tweaks to like HVAC and that sort of thing. So yeah, it is moving very quickly.
And we're still on the same timeline that we advertised at.
When I spoke to Henry today, we're still on that same timeline. And I said, Henry, can you give me any indication? He says, Aaron, not at this time. So anyway, so we're still on that same progress. Hopefully by the May board meeting, that information will be sent to the city on, and then hopefully the June board meeting, we'll have a GLP presented to you.
That's a big woo-woo on that one. Thank you, Ms. Beaver. Next item on the agenda is to approve district financial report. Ms. Wynn?
Good evening, Madam Superintendent Board. So we have our financial reports for February 29th, 2024. We are at 66.66% complete of our fiscal year. This is our general fund statements for February. And then we have our capital project statements. And then our special revenue statements. And then our nutrition. This year is going quickly by.
With that, Mr. Chair, make a recommendation to approve as presented.
Thank you, Madam. We have a recommendation. Do I have a motion? Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor by raised hand? It is unanimous.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The next item on the agenda is lost update. Ms. Wynn, will you give us an update, please, ma'am?
We received $753,692.06 in March for collections that were sales that we had in February. That was 4.7% growth, and we're still on track to complete this loss in September 2024.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. And we were blessed with citizens to approve the next one.
Very much.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, next item on the agenda is to approve CTAE items as salvage. Dr. Ruth.
Well, again, I will say before we get to this list, I think I look back and the last time that we had done any type of CTAE salvage was 3 years ago. So that just shows you we have a lot of equipment in CTAE, and our teachers do a great job of being frugal and hanging on to that equipment and making the most of it and getting the most out of it they possibly can. But we do have some items here that we are asking for your approval to salvage, and so this is in compliance with our admin reg, and these items, they have surpassed their intended usage and life expectancies. These items are not functional and no longer in service, and so we do have some cameras, DVD player, hospital bed that is not safe, power washer, microwave ovens, and a vertical bandsaw that is also being unsafe in all instances. So with that said, asking for your approval for these items to be established.
Okay, and the quality of this equipment wouldn't be appropriate for surplus, correct?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. With that said, Mr. Chair, make a recommendation to approve as presented.
We have a recommendation. Do I have a motion?
You have a motion.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a second. Is there any comment? All in favor by raised hand? It's unanimous.
Thank you, Dr. Ruth. Next item on the agenda, Mr. Chair, is approved Blue Ridge Kiwanis Club bus use request. Mr. Drury.
Thank you, Madam Superintendent. Board members, we have a few requests for our bus users and bus drivers. The first one here is the Blue Ridge Kiwanis Club. They're requesting a bus for the upcoming trips to the Ocoee YMCA camp during the summer in Ocoee, Tennessee. The first trip, we would take the campers down on Sunday, June 23rd, drop them off at the camp, and then we would pick them up on Saturday, June 29th. And then we would repeat that process on Sunday, July 7th, drop them off, and then pick them back up on Saturday, June 13th. And the Blue Ridge Kiwanis Club will be responsible for the cost of fuel and the driver.
Thank you, Mr. Drury. Mr. Chair, I make a recommendation to approve as presented.
Is there a motion to approve this request?
So moved.
Is there a second?
You have a second.
A motion and a second. Is there any comment? All in favor by raised hand? It is unanimous.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, next item on the agenda is to approve MEC bus use request. Mr. Drury.
Yes, ma'am. This is an MEC request for later this month. They're requesting a bus for Tuesday, April 23rd. They want to go to Serenity Spa and then to dinner at Taco Bell or Pizza Hut and return to MEC with a pickup time of 5:15 p.m. and return approximately 7:45 p.m. And their second trip is for Monday, April 29th. They will first head to Murphy, North Carolina for their dinner, and then on to Tri-County Community College to visit there in Marble, North Carolina, and then return back to NEC. And again, pickup time there will be about 4:15 p.m. and return time approximately 7:45. And NEC will be responsible for the cost of the fuel and the driver.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chair, I make a recommendation to approve as presented.
I'll make that motion for the MEC bus use request. Do I have a second?
You have a second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Yes. I'll suggest that tremendously helps our relation with other county entities. It must be a good savings for.
Yes, it's a win-win.
For their own.
Yes, sir. We help them, and ultimately these are students from our community that are getting to go to a community college, especially there, and be able to see what they have to offer them.
Mr. Chair?
Yep. I'm going.
I'm so sorry.
That's quite all right. So, all in favor by a raised hand? It is unanimous.
All right, I'll slow down on that one. All right, next item on the agenda, approve UGA cooperative extension for 4-H bus use request. Mr. Drury?
Yes, ma'am. Again, this is one of our organizations here in the county for a summer trip. This is UGA Cooperative Extension of Fannin County, which is 4-H. So they're requesting a bus for an upcoming trip to Fortson 4-H Center in Hampton, Georgia. And again, they want us to take them down on Monday, June 3rd to drop off their campers, and then we would return on Friday, June 7th to pick up the campers and return back to Fannin County. And that would, the UGA Cooperative Extension of Fannin County will be responsible for the cost of fuel and the drive.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Make a recommendation to approve as presented.
Do we have a motion?
You have a motion.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor by raised hand? It's unanimous.
Mr. Chair, next item on the agenda is to approve transportation buses as surplus property. Mr. Drury?
Yes, ma'am. I spoke about at the last meeting, we have got in 4 of our new buses. We have 2 more that we hopefully will get at the end of this month. And with those additions, that's allowed us an opportunity to surplus some of our older buses. These are buses that we do not use as sub buses, so they do run, but we're not using them to transporting students. So per regulation DO-R1, and in accordance with rules and regulations of surplus property disposition, we ask that to request the following items declared as surplus property. The first is the 2009 International 72 passenger bus. The other 3 buses are 2012 models, 72 passenger bus as well. If approved, we will put them on govdeals.com, and if they do not receive bids, then they will be surplus. These are some pictures of the 4 buses.
The bid numbers that corresponds, right?
Yes, sir. So those are the bid numbers of the corresponding to the 4 buses.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, I make a recommendation to approve as presented.
Or do we have a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
I got one. When Mr. Benny was here, we would put the buses up for sale on the lot. They wouldn't bring nothing. So he went down, and I don't know where he made a deal with the auto auction or what, and he started taking them down there, and they was bringing good money. I'm just wondering why we're not taking them down there instead of putting them on GovDeal. I mean, I don't know.
I was not here when they did the auction, but the Gov Deals is basically an auction that's online, so that people can bid on them. So, as a district, that's been the policy to put on Gov Deals, because they handle a lot of the logistics of being able to run the auctions, for us.
Well, the procedure that we've done recently has been to use deals. Miss Heather started that with technology. We tried that a few years back, and it gets more foot traffic into a bigger audience, and we actually receive more funds for technology that way. So the last few times that we've certainly
Okay, I just wondered.
yeah, to reach a bigger audience, to have a little bit more competition to make more money.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. Yes, sir.
Yep.
Mr. Chair, sorry, we were.
No.
I'm getting all excited and getting lost.
That's all right. That's all right. So, all in favor by raised hand? It is unanimous. Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Drury. Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a recommendation to go into executive session for personnel and real estate, and I would like to invite Attorney Ross and Mr. Diener. Please, sir.
So we have a recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? It is unanimous. May I have a motion to resume our board meeting?
So moved.
Second. All in favor? It's unanimous. While no action was taken while in executive session, may I have a motion to approve the minutes from executive session on March 14th, 2024?
You have that motion.
Thank you, sir. May I have a second?
You have a second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor? It is unanimous.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Next item on the agenda is personnel, and if I could get y'all to pull up your personnel sheet. First, set of people or resignations. I would like to take this group collectively, unless there's an objection. Okay. Resignations of Spencer Johnson Dockery, effective 3/29/2024. Donna Yates, effective 5/28/2024. Barbara King, effective 5/29/2024. Ansley Waters, effective 5/29/2024. Alex Wagner, effective 5/29/2024. Jerry Pack, effective 5/31/2024. And Harold Chuck Taylor, effective 5/31/2024. Mr. Chair, I make that recommendation.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor? It is unanimous.
Thank you, sir. The next set of recommendations will all be pending completion of paperwork, background check, and training requirements. The first one is Dr. Scott Barnstead for administrator, effective school year 2024-2025. I make that recommendation.
Do I have a motion?
You have a motion.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
You have a second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor by raising hand? It is unanimous.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The next section of professional staff, all effective for school year 2024-2025, pending completion of paperwork, background check, and training requirements. I would like to take collectively unless there's an objection. Okay, so that is Bailey Green, Stacy Chambers, Keisha Dover, Crystal Stoff, Hillary Thompson, Amber Waters, and Hannah White. Mr. Chair, make that recommendation.
I'd like to make that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor by raised hand? It is unanimous.
Thank you. Next two are classified staff, all pending completion of paperwork, background check, and training requirements. I'd like to take both of these collectively, if that's okay. First is Keith Boson Jr., effective 4/15/2024, and Allison Holloway, effective for the school year 2024-2025. Mr. Chair, I make that recommendation.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor by raised hand? It is unanimous.
Thank you, sir. The next group is for substitute employees. All of these are substitute teachers, all effective school year 2024-2025, and then completion of paperwork, background check, and training requirements. I'd like to take these collectively unless there's an objection. Okay, Spencer Johnson Dockery, Barbara King, and Donna Yates. Mr. Chair, I make that recommendation.
Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor by raised hand? It's unanimous.
Next one is transfers for informational purposes only, and that is Jillian Breeden transferred effective 4/8/2024. And with that, Mr. Chair, the personnel sheet is complete. Next item on the agenda is superintendent comments. And I'd like to first of all just say thankful for the good Lord first and foremost. Living in this community. It's been a hard week for the Fannin family, and I request continued prayers for the Olsenbach family and for all those that's lost loved ones this year. It's been a heavy year for several of our schools and a lot of our family members this year, but everyone continues to pull together and pull through. And For that, we are blessed. Mr. Young mentioned the community resource fair. The elementary schools all got together and had a resource fair in the middle and high school, and it was great having all the families out and just having fun with one another. Leadership Fannin has their education day, and it's always wonderful to invite people into our school system so that we can teach them, and that was wonderful. Miss Martha sponsored that this year because she was a graduate of last year's cohort of Leadership Fannin, and that just also is a testament to how this community continues to support our schools. You know, one of the presentations tonight, 50 businesses in our small town provides working opportunities for our children, and that is a blessing. Miss Nora Todd and her poster contest was a blessing. Beth Ware continues to be a blessing. CTSO, those kids are a lot smarter than I'll ever be, and I'm proud of them. Proud of Mr. Barnstead, who just completed his leadership certificate in the past couple of years, and he's going to have an opportunity to now follow his dream of going in that direction. For a minute, Ms. Keisha, of course, is returning back to the media center from admin, and she said it was a hard decision, but with the age of her children right now, that she wanted more mama time, and that is commendable. Mark, thank you for your presentation tonight, and everyone else that gave us information. We are Fannin, we are blessed, and I will hush.
Mr. Bobby Bearden, can we start with you and move to the left?
All right, thank you. I'd like to thank everybody for being here tonight. Scott, I told you that when he was here, but you tell him I appreciate him coming and taking time out to have prayer with us at the beginning of our service here. And he and I went to school together, so we're old friends. I don't know how to say what I got to say, but I'm going to say it. All the children that we had up here this evening, it just blows my mind. We have got some excellent children in our school, and they can do marvelous things. That's just like the young lady that Scott presented. You know, who would ever thought that she could do that? She probably did. A lot of our children may grow up to be the governor of Georgia, and one of them may be president of the United States. You can't never tell. We got some great kids here. The cameras. I am delighted, Mr. Danner, that we have that technology in our school. And hopefully we never have to use it for the wrong purpose, but it will help us greatly if we need it in the time of a situation. Mark, appreciate, and I did amen you, and I'll amen you again, you know, doing a great job up there. I'm just blessed to be here. That's all I can tell you. This school system just sometimes blows my mind. And it's on account of people like you, our teachers, our custodians, our lunchroom people. Everybody puts in. And like Miss Dillard said, we are Fannin, and we're going to stay Fannin. Ms. Brown?
Thank you, sir. As always, it's an honor to serve. It's exciting always to get to visit with our education family, and I appreciate each and every one of you and the incredible job that you do for our young people. Creating opportunities for students to explore options and reach their potential and live up to their potential for a successful life moving forward has always been at the forefront And what a celebration tonight. Dr. Root, and I think Mr. Hickson's already left, but, no, there he is, I'm sorry. The success that the CTAE program has enjoyed in the last 4 years is remarkable. What we saw here tonight was just, it's hard to believe that much progress has been made in such a short period of time. So thank you both for promoting that program, for fostering it so well, and nobody in this room is happier than me when I see those students and this industry level certificates they're acquiring. My little welding instructor, I came over to participate in the class for a couple of hours. She's the one that broke her leg. Just a marvel. And to see the work that she was able to do, and bless her heart, she couldn't help me a lot, but she did try. But it's so exciting. So thank you for just the incredible results. You must keep up the good work. We'll keep looking for those future economic opportunities for our students. And whenever student interest matches those, we'll look at another program. So thank you both. Thank all of you. And again, it's a pleasure to be here. It's an honor to serve.
Build on those comments. I'll compliment them. Wisdom to know where we are tonight with all these children who, to me, was a picture of the success of Fannin County. I believe that our students have the best opportunities, the most opportunities from what we saw tonight. It's awesome to me. Bobby's always said that Fannin County is the best in the state. I think it's far exceeded that now. We're kids first, and we're serious. Our leadership and our department heads, people that take care of our kids and how it astonishes me. How did y'all find time to do these programs? I think it's mandated. Teachers teach 6 hours, I believe, if I'm not wrong. And children must be so busy with opportunities that they don't have time to get in trouble. That's why our graduation rate is, what, almost close to 93, 94? That's astronomical compared to the benefits and the opportunities that kids had a few years ago. I remember when ag class was easy, and the time that you were not in class, you went to the library for so-called study, or even went outside and multitude of different things. So I'm astonished, as they both alluded to. Our kids are blessed, and the only way to go is up, to do better. And I think that's going to be a task, but I think y'all are up to it. I think our leadership is jam up, premium, top of the run right now. Our kids are blessed, the best they've ever been. And I bet that if you knew the truth, you could carry that same note to other parts of the state, other school systems. Why do people want to come to Fannin County? One of the main things is the school system. The opportunities that Ms. Dobbs always give her credit for. We're Fannin. I think in terms of that, I think back to when I was in school, Fannin County was poverty. Very few people even had a good living except those who worked for Tennessee Chemical. There was nothing else either. And now Fannin County is the most illustrious place to move to and to bring your children. I say, attaboy. I'm so proud that we are kids first. And it shines in all these programs. That's all, Coach.
I definitely want to say thank you to everybody that's watching and come out tonight. I certainly do appreciate the time that you do come out and that you care enough to be here. And I will definitely say that I'll do what most of the guys said up here, that words that have a crowd anymore, so it's just being directed that it is. I do want to say that I do appreciate Scotty there, and Deb, and our camera system. I know that y'all work hard on that. I think it is well received. I know the board is ecstatic about it. One of the most highlights to me tonight is to see all those children. This is telling the children before the meeting started. Could you imagine trying to have that meeting in our other facility? They had it done in stages, and it would have been extremely long night. I'm so thankful for this facility that we have, and the ability that we can have them to look forward to that many more in the future. Coming out, I love to recognize the accomplishments of our students, because that's what we're all here for. We're not here for kids first, like Mr. Lee says, and we're in the wrong place, we're sitting in the wrong seat. But I do want to say thank you, Mr. Ruth, Mr. Gibson, for a great program. I know y'all just scratched the surface of what's going on tonight, the things that are to come. I know that all that falls in place will be amazing also, and I appreciate y'all's work on that building. You said that, we appreciate y'all. Christian, I appreciate you. Appreciate what you stand for, sir. Behind the scenes stuff, I do appreciate it. Thank you. I already know this, I'm saying, Ms. College, you did a great job. But even noticed that you hadn't been there that long, but you're doing a good job keeping up, rolling through everything. So I do want to proud of what you're doing. So once again, thank you to everybody that showed up tonight. God bless you. Mr. Chair, if I may, I forgot to mention Mr. Young's brief presentation.
Yes, sir. And I will take you up on that tour because I had to leave you midway. And so I enjoy that. I am very invested in that school, and I appreciate the opportunity to come back. So I'm going to take you up on that. Thank you for your presentation. Miss Beth Ware, she's just a solid, good person, and I'm so grateful that she received recognition tonight. Nora Todd, how about that cybersecurity win? That's awesome. The CTAE, for most people that know me, know that I've been preaching that for a long time, and I'm so excited that Miss Jeannie, you said that's the largest crowd, but that's so far, right? So to hear all the stuff that they're doing, welding, working on cars, ag, but then you also see them same kids in the academics is amazing, because when you look at that 99.4 graduation rate for those that are enrolled in the CTAE with an average grade of 87. If I got an 87, I thought I was doing great. So we are averaging them out. So that tells the intellect that these kids have, and I'm just honored to be a part of that. And so one last, Mr. Tony, thank you for your part in the SRO and keeping kids safe, and how much they look up to you and love you. And I've got one out there that just loves you, and I just want to thank you. I appreciate what you do, and so thank all you that showed up tonight, and we'll be back next month. And with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? We are adjourned.
You beat me.